Spanish sensation Carlos Sainz remains on the top team's shopping lists, with Mercedes' Toto Wolff the latest to heap praise on the 23-year-old. Sainz has impressed so far for Renault, despite being on temporary loan from Red Bull, with points scored at 2 of the first 3 races. And while he's likely to return to Red Bull Racing should Daniel Ricciardo defect, Wolff hasn't ruled out a future Silver Arrows offer. Another excellent driver is Carlos Sainz, Wolff said. If he shows up well next to Nico Hülkenberg, then all of the teams will be interested in him. Sainz has so far been outqualified 3-0 by Hülkenberg, up to and including China, but the Spaniard is confident of a strong season overall.
I think we can work together to bring the team forward, push each other, and just gonna keep Nico happy, hopefully, and we can have a strong season together.
Sainz, though, remains tight-lipped about his options beyond 2018.
I don't know. We will see when it's time to talk about my future.
Williams' Chief Technical Officer Paddy Lowe has ruled out handing reserve and development driver Robert Kubica more time in the FW41, despite the team yet to score a point after 3 rounds. The British squad, once a giant of the F1 grid, finished last year 5th in the constructors' standings, but is now in last place. With no answers provided as to how it will remedy the situation, despite the benchmark Mercedes power unit in the back. And while handing the car to Kubica would be beneficial, Lowe says that's simply not an option at the moment. Then we would be taking away important track time for Sergei, but he needs every kilometer, he said. Williams' current morale is in stark contrast to that at its season launch in February, when the team revealed Lowe's aggressive new challenger that it hoped would catapult it up the order.
This year is all about Mr. Lowe's car, so we're really looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Absolutely.
No pressure, Paddy.
No pressure. No pressure, Paddy.
F1's governing body, the FIA, is currently investigating the sport's recent spate of unsafe releases during pit stops. Ferrari was fined €50,000 in Bahrain for Kimi Raikkonen's botched second stop. The fin released before the left rear tire was changed, with a mechanic sustaining a broken leg in the process. Haas was fined $10,000 in Australia after both its cars were released with loose wheels, Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean retiring after the mechanics cross-threaded the wheel nuts. While McLaren's Fernando Alonso was the first to lose a wheel this year during pre-season testing in Barcelona, the nut failing after 4 laps on track. The investigation is being led by F1 race director Charlie Whiting, who says there could be more to the recurring issue. It's looking less and less like a coincidence, but the 2 incidences in Melbourne were quite clearly wheel gun operator error, he said. McLaren is racing towards stronger results, with the squad simplifying its corporate structure for a more streamlined operation. The historic outfit has changed dramatically in the post-Ron Dennis era, with the focus again returned to success in F1. The reformed McLaren Group now comprises 3 divisions, including racing, automotive, and applied technologies, with stalwart Jonathan Neal installed as Chief Operating Officer, while Zach Brown becomes CEO of McLaren Racing. Eric Boulier remains Racing Director, reporting to Brown, who remains bullish about the squad's long-term plans.
Well, I think we've got a strong future ahead of us. I think we've always been attractive. Obviously, on-track results are critically important, and you can never get away from those. But McLaren as a brand is also much larger than just a Formula One team.
F1's power brokers are considering dropping the 105-kilogram fuel limit for 2019 in a bid for harder racing from lights to flag. The current limit often leads to drivers having to save fuel, with the result being a lift and coast tactic to reduce consumption, forcing drivers to do less of what they do best, race. The The prospective change to fuel limits will be discussed at this week's F1 strategy group meeting. But with fuel suppliers now an integral part of a team's performance, its expected advantages will be protected.
The work that these guys do has been fundamental in the success we've had for the last 4 years, particularly the last 4 years, but also the 2013 reliability, particularly this year, is going to be even more crucial than ever before.
The strategy group meeting will also be used to discuss technical regulation changes to try and boost overtaking next year. Though Liberty Media's suggested changes to the car's front and rear wings have already been vetoed. TheInsideLine.com for everything Formula One.